Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in the Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cuppa.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
You looked confused then.
what?
Sorry, Karen.
That's not too difficult for
No, I
me to
suppose
be
that's very
confused. You
true.
know that.
What are we talking about?
Right, today we're going to talk about seeds of control.
I don't have any words.
The Monsanto story.
I don't know what that
You
is.
know what Monsanto is?
No, I don't. I thought it was that nursery that children went to that was all touchy-feely. It's Montessori. Montessori? Something different?
I don't know where your mind goes sometimes. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through this as a story.
Okay.
Feel free to interrupt as I'm going along.
I don't think I'll be able to resist, but okay, yeah.
But I'm just going to go into an initial introduction.
Okay.
What I did right, and you'll get
what I did last week.
And hopefully it will all start to fall into place. This is a two-parter as well, so it's quite a good story. And it's one that I've known about for a couple of decades, and it's always been one of those that's kind of like really got me like that. So, all right,
that's a long list, if I'm completely honest.
It is. Okay, right. So, for as long as humans have farmed, seeds have been something sacred. Right, basically the starting point of every harvest.
I mean, literal
you
seeds.
Plant, you sow them. Yeah. There is, but before you sow them, you store them. Yeah.
Yep.
So you have them tucked away for next season. So the ones that you use a whole bunch, you sell a load, or you use a load, you grind your own flour, you make bread, blah 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 blah. But basically, seeds are the starting point of every harvest. So for thousands and thousands of years, ever since humans they've stopped being nomads.
Yeah.
And have been
farmers,
domesticated farmers,
home settlers.
Yep.
Yes.
They've been saving seeds. And in the late 20th century, something fundamentally changed.
I don't know why I'm finding this funny already.
Right, really? Already?
It's not
is
funny.
Is it the look on my face?
It is, because you're making this seem so serious, and so far you've told me about seeds.
And dramatic,
yes.
Yeah.
And all I can think about is chia seeds, which are not really that dramatic. But
no,
anyway.
They're not. Quite benign, actually. Yeah.
A benign seed.
But yeah, I'm kind of being a little bit dramatic there. But this is the story of the Monsanto seed scandal. Yeah, you wouldn't think, would you?
No, I would not think there could be a whole scandal about seeds.
So, all right, this is a fascinating. Well, to me, it's a fascinating story.
I'll let you know at the end.
It remains to be seen where anyone
really
else finds it fascinating. All right, so it's a tale of invention, of corporate ambition, courtroom battles, and the very nature of who owns life itself.
Do you have a light-hearted side? Like a casual
Not at all.
side?
I never laugh. Right, I'm going to rewind us back to, well, basically the big idea, which is what Monsanto came up with, but back in the 1990s. So, right, Monsanto is an agricultural company that's agrochemical company, and it produced herbicides.
What's the difference between a herbicide and a pesticide?
Herbs, pests. Herbicide kills plants. Pesticide kills...
As in weeds?
Pests.
So it kills weeds rather than herbs, like thyme and oregano.
Correct. Yes. So, they had a breakthrough.
Okay.
Genetically engineered crops that could survive being sprayed with their best-selling weed killer, Roundup.
Oh, I've used that in the garden.
Yeah. Now, my mates owned allotments, and they would say, They got loads of. After a winter, they'd harvest everything, and then over winter it would be dormant, and then in spring all the blinking weeds would come up.
Yeah.
And I would say, you're gonna weed that entire 25-foot long patch of ground.
Isn't
No,
that the fun of
I'm just
having
going
an
to
allotment?
nuke it.
But isn't that the fun of having an allotment?
No.
Getting your hands in the
That's
soil.
why I only had one for a short period of time.
You had an allotment.
But anyway, the nickname for it was nuking it, because
Oh,
basically nothing grew.
fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. So, farmers struggling with weeds that choke their yields, this sounded like magic. Yeah.
Naturally, because you get to keep your crop, but yeah.
So, these genetically engineered crops would allow you to plant the seeds, spray your fields, weeds die, crops thrive.
That would be very
Magic,
clever.
yeah?
That is magical.
Yeah. So the farmers, of course, went, yes, please, we'll have some of that. Signed up by their thousands. Monsanto made sure of one thing. These were not ordinary seeds. They were with patented technology. Okay? So when they bought them, they didn't own them.
Can you not? So my brain can't wrap itself around that.
Well, it doesn't have to, because I'm going to tell you the rest of the
fine.
story. You didn't own them the way you own tomatoes for a shop, or you buy from a shop, or you didn't own them like you've bought seeds in the past. You keep some of the seeds back for growing, you sell the rest, trade the rest, and then you replant some of the seeds that you've harvested. Yeah. They were buying a license. Yeah. Basically software.
It's very confusing.
Yeah. I know. Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a new way of buying seeds.
Well, I imagine no one really understood that either.
Pretty much. Yeah. The fine print said you can't save or replant the seeds next year. You must buy new ones each season.
Who's going to... Hang on. How on earth do you police that?
Well, yeah. I'll come to that.
I'm sorry, that seed looks like last year's seed.
I'm going to come to that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because there are ways of examining the genetics. So these were genetically modified, of course. So farmers used to generations of seed saving. This was a revolution, and potentially a revolution that I kind of don't get, really. For Monsanto, it was an absolute gold mine.
Well, yeah, because people had to keep buying every year. There was no stockpiling.
Yeah, but yes, exactly. And the story turns at this point, which is that Monsanto aggressively protected its patents, very aggressively.
Did they have an enforcer?
They had teams of killers roaming the countryside and stringing farmers up. Well, they might as well.
That wasn't true, by the way.
They might as well have had. They built up teams of investigators, sometimes called seed police by the critics, who tracked down farmers suspected of replanting their GM seeds without paying for new licenses. Right.
Wow.
Some farmers said they were followed. Others said they were threatened with lawsuits if they didn't settle.
Microsoft are less worried about people who are pirating their licenses.
Get it, yeah. Monsanto insisted they were simply enforcing intellectual property rights like any other tech company would. So seeds became tech, basically.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Now, in rural America, this didn't look like Apple protecting its code. Yeah, it looked like a giant corporation coming after small-town farmers.
I have some questions. Can I ask the questions?
Go.
You may be answering them later on.
Yeah. No, go out of the room.
No. Did the seeds... Well, did they actually do what they were supposed to, as in keep growing despite being sprayed with weed killer? Were they actually were they run sealed? Did they do what they said on the tin?
Yeah.
They were effective.
They did. Yeah.
And as genetically
I'm aware of,
modified seeds, was there any effect on the human being that ate them at the other
end? No,
end?
because with genetically modified stuff, it doesn't really, we've been genetically modifying animals and plants for as long as we've been breeding animals and plants.
Is that how you get like blue orchids and stuff?
Yeah. And that's how you get dogs with floppy ears and curly tails and short legs and squashed in faces.
It's a very odd dog you're describing.
It's selective breeding, isn't it?
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, I asked the questions.
Yeah. Ask about any more. Yeah. Dozens of lawsuits followed, and Monsanto always won.
Hang on, when you say
Sorry,
lawsuits,
almost always won.
with Monsanto suing farmers?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not the other way around.
Yeah, so they almost always won. One Canadian farmer called Percy Schmeiser
Nice.
said GM canola blew onto his fields accidentally. Now, I'm assuming that didn't mean his whole field had
Was
been blown
filled
onto.
with canola.
Monsanto said he knowingly replanted it. Case went to the Supreme Court of Canada. The court ruled that yes, even if patented genes show up on your land, planting is still patent infringement. So you imagine that. You're a farmer, someone else's...
So if I have a GM poppy that's blown itself into my garden and randomly seeded itself in my lawn...
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
I feel like the courts were maybe being given a backhander.
Oh, yeah. But what... the courts enforcing what amounts to government pressure, no doubt, where you have, patents having to be protected.
Well, yeah, and I understand
to encourage investment. You can understand that.
Yes.
The poor farmer at the end of it, of course, doesn't get that, and arguably, there's a requirement for anyone to read the contract in the small print to agree with it, but some of these cases weren't actually deliberate planting.
But all they see is a seed. They don't understand the legality behind it and the minutiae.
Yeah. So the message was unmistakable. If Monsanto's genes are in your field, intentionally or not, you're playing by Monsanto's rules. That was it.
That would make me stop
And
buying
the intention
Monsanto seeds.
the intention, it appears to have been basically replacing all seeds with their own seeds, so the entire planet has to buy their seeds.
With a constant repurchase cycle, because you had to repurchase the license every year.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't just them,
about a score
getting a name for producing seeds that were actually really good for humanity.
And that's the funny thing. They would have had return business if they just promoted themselves as a good bunch of people doing something good.
Yeah, because they could have sold a whole load more products around it, no doubt. Or maybe not, because their Roundup was going to be going in the bin, wasn't it? If you didn't have to spray.
No, you sprayed to get rid of the weeds. It's just that your thing survived.
Yeah.
It didn't get rid of weeds permanently, did it? Roundup, you still have to spray every year.
Oh, yeah. There was I've called this the trap, right? So as if that's not enough.
So dramatic.
Oh. Please. Right, there was another layer to the scandal, basically with some global impact, which is farmer dependency. Yeah. So you kind of think of it from the last element, but they didn't just sell you a seed; they sold you a system. You needed the special seed, you needed the matching herbicide, you needed the contract that bound you to buy again. Year after year, costs rose.
Oh, of course they did. Did you get that special rate for new customers only? And then suddenly your insurance doubled that one.
So critics argued this created a form of economic
easy for you to say.
of economic capture. So once farmers were in, it was hard to get out. Many regions saw traditional seed varieties disappear from local markets. So basically, monoculture.
And I imagine using that much herbicide on your land would have meant you couldn't have planted any other seed, because it would have been affected by the amount of herbicide that was in the soil.
Contributing towards yet more monoculture, really.
So you literally couldn't use any other seed.
In India, for example, Monsanto's BT cotton spread rapidly. When yields were good, farmers paid the high seed cost, but when droughts hit or pests overcame the engineered traits...
Which is the natural stage of evolution.
Absolutely, yes. And the trait is called Roundup Ready. So basically that's what the seeds were, yeah? Debt spiraled. Yeah. You pay out, your crops don't return.
And you're hoping for a good season,
absolutely.
And that never comes.
And some activists tied the tragic wave of farmer suicides to Monsanto's business practices, though the actual picture is a lot more complex.
Yeah,
I did a deep dive myself into that, which was actually that the farmers are hit by many things.
Yes. It's not just the seed.
Based upon that. Yeah. So it can't be laid firmly at their feet. Still, the perception that Monsanto seeds were trapping farmers in cycles of debt stuck hard. And Santo's public image?
Not great. Corporate greedy seed producers.
I like that. It's better than I came up with.
What do you come up with?
Sliding from innovative to infamous.
I like the alliteration.
So anyway, there was a turning point to this.
Okay.
All right. I wouldn't say it's all positive, but by the 2010s, which is only last decade, Monsanto wasn't just a company. It was a symbol, a lightning rod for fears about GMOs. Yeah.
Understandably.
Yeah. Corporate control of the food system and the privatisation of nature itself. And this scandal itself reshaped how the public saw the company.
Mm-hmm.
The storm was actually yet to really, this was only the brewing part of the storm, was yet to actually land. Roundup, the herbicide designed to pair with those patented seeds, would soon be accused of causing cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, tens of thousands of lawsuits would follow. And just as this was all about to erupt, some might say a saviour came to the rescue. Bayer, the German pharmaceutical company, agreed to buy the company, agreed to buy Monsanto. The purchase was closed in only 2018. And one of Bayer's first decisions was to
stop making Roundup.
Well, retire the Monsanto name forever. Because
to be clear, you just said the name, not the product.
Well, here's the thing. The name change would not be able to erase the legacy or the billions in legal liabilities.
No, it would not.
Which came with it. Yeah. Okay. So remaining, if you like, the legacy behind Monsanto. Bearing in mind, this is going to go into a second part. The whole episode or whole chapter, if you like, changed how we talk about seeds or how farmers talk about seeds. Because farmers remember.
Honestly,
this.
I don't talk about seeds.
You and I don't talk about seeds.
No.
I buy plants.
I talk about lots of things.
Yeah.
Seeds is not one of them.
Yeah. From a communal resource to, as it was, to a proprietary technology. It sparked global debates on who controls agriculture and whether patent law should apply to living organisms. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
That's a difficult question.
Yeah. And it showed how harshly corporate power can collide with rural life. Rural life that's been the same for eons.
Yeah.
Not preons, eons.
In theory, Monsanto were just trying to make it better, allowing you to continue to grow something that would survive and be strong whilst getting rid of the thing that's in the way, saving you time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Had they not done what they did with the patents, I think it would have been different. They would have just been hailed as someone who'd saved agriculture and given a new way to...
That would have lent a huge amount of...
Well, you'd have got made even more money from that. I don't know why people choose the high road, the low road. They choose the low road and then go, oh, that didn't work.
Exactly.
And it could have made a fortune the other way.
Exactly. Right, well, we're going to round this up.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed it at first. You were staring at me, and it took me a minute to get there was a little joke in there. I apologise. Next time I'll be more on it.
So this is wrapping up this episode, but in the next episode, we'll explore what happened after the Monsanto name disappeared and how Bayer inherited not only a product line, but one of the most controversial legacies in modern agriculture.
I have no idea who in Bayer went. That seems like a great purchase.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a weird choice.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, hold on to your
I'll hold on to my excitement.
Yes.
My seeds.
And I'll see you
I'll hold on to my seeds.
in round 2.
Okay, all right.
Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Donnie, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.